Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video, we'll be going through the PvE tier list for 3.4.16, and this tier list here is the continued version of the previous one, which is the all updated October one. But for this one, it's going to be the December one, which is actually the last tier list for 2024. Okay, so within this tier list here, all Esper is as the same. It's going to be maximum up to R2, Rezo 2. The priority is, the highest one is Falsetto Fantasy, Ritual Miracle, and Desolate Land, because these three content gives the most reward for PvE. And then the second one will be Infinity Tower, Temporal Tower, and Elemental Tower. Then the third one will be Memory Reef and Event Trial, and the fourth one will be Story Stages, because there's no other PvE content that actually matters too much. Let's not consider anomaly, because every anomaly have their own meta Esper, so we're not going to talk about that. So basically within this content here, we're going to go through all these Esper and also the new Esper within these 2 months. These are the new release Esper we're going to include into the tier list as well. So before we put in the new Esper, I want to go through some of the Esper here. Maybe I want to do some tier list adjustments. So within the meta tier here, I will put Leora down to strong, because even when she is at R2, I know that she is still one of the best wave clearer for Chronos wave. It's still being one of the best choice, but I don't think she's actually worth the meta title now. It's just because within like the highest priority, Falsetto and Desolate Land, Leora only cover Ritual Miracle. She can't really use in Falsetto and Desolate Land and the other content as well. So I will drop her down by 1 tier, because we have a better replacement, which is Slon here, and also let's say in Event Trial we're gonna have Artiar. Memory Reef we have like Embla or Suje and the other Esper as well. We don't really need Leora. Though Leora now the usage is only for Story Stages and also Chronos Ritual Miracle, but if you have Slon before, then you don't really need Leora. So I would put Leora down from meta to strong. Then for Sakura wise, even though at R2, I would actually push her up to meta now, because like even from what I observed, even without Sakura's R4 and R6 stats boost and damage boost effect, I think she's still one of the best choice, because she is a healer, she's a buffer, and she actually covers two very important roles into the PvE content. So I really think Sakura value actually is higher now. She's already high value, just that even at R2, I will also put her until like the meta tier, because she actually covers a lot of value. Then the other Esper here at their R2 value, I think I would remain the same. Let's see, let me go through one time everyone here. Okay, I think Osana, where's Osana? Osana from bad, I'll push her to niche, because Dark Starlord, people are start using Osana as a team 1 debuffer now. So I'll put her until niche, and then I would push Momo is already at niche. Then the other Esper for PvE bad one will remain here. Yeah, I think the rest here will remain the same. Okay, maybe Meta Liling. Let me see. Meta Liling wise, can Meta Liling go up? Only Falsetto, right? Yeah, I think I'll put Meta Liling as still at niche. Okay, I think the rest here I will remain the same than the other one. Okay, now Wernlock here. So Wernlock here, I think even though rarely people are using him as a performer, because most of us don't have him R2 yet. Only the few players that actually pay the packs would get him to R2, or else most player is at R0 to R1, so you don't really see a lot of performance for Wernlock yet. But for Wernlock, it's basically the Sachiko version but in wind type, and slightly better, because he also give a lot of benefit to non-wind type Esper as well, because Sachiko is fixed to epic type. So with this said, I would say Wernlock here, I would actually push him to strong, because Wernlock give a lot of benefit, even in Desolate Land, even in Falsetto Fantasy. Ritual Miracle not really, because Wernlock doesn't give too much of the value in Fafnir, and Andras as well don't really give a lot of value. So Desolate Land definitely see a value in him, and then Falsetto Fantasy as well, but most of us don't have him R2, so I would say it's between strong and decent, but for now I'll put him as strong, unless in the future when we have him R2 and then we only realize that that's not really too strong, then maybe I'll drop him down to decent. But for now, I would say he's strong because he really benefit a lot as a passive damage buffer. Then Meta Yintron here, definitely a bet, because even he is purely made for PvP. Like Meta Leading is also good in PvP and PvE, but Meta Leading need higher reso to actually shine. But for Meta Yintron, even you make him to R6, he's not going to benefit you in any PvE content unless the boss can actually one-shot you, or else bad. Then for Bidao here, I would say is bad for PvE as well. Like yes, the stone is good, like petrification is good, like the debuff he can provide is good, but if you really want to compare, cause he's kind of like Hilda, right? Hilda is a lot more better compared to Bidao. Like even in storing stages, Hilda or storing stages of Andras, Hilda even can sleep them and poison them, and poison deals a lot of damage. Then Bidao here only mainly is for his petrification, and yes, he can also deal a special effect, which is an advanced version of poison, but it only trigger to one target, unlike Hilda trigger AoE debuff. So if that is a comparison, I would say Bidao is actually the bad tier in PvE, and Hilda will be the meta tier. Yeah. Then for Mingshaw, okay, Mingshaw is a very tough pick. Like he is one of the best DPS, right? And then even GG make a video about him, like trying to make him a very good DPS in Desolate Land content, which I think he still have the value, because the Divinate, the first thing, we don't have him high Divinate yet. Even my Mingshaw is only still collecting his Divinate Ripple, so I don't even have a D1 yet. So without the Divinate extra stats, without the Divinate level, Divinate effect, and also his reso, because most of us are still collecting his reso. Now I think the maximum when I'm making this video are only R2. And he has a lot more stats gain in his reso, a lot more damage boost, especially when he's R6, the multiplier increased by another 0.5 multiplier, which is a massive boost to Mingshaw. So I still think that he have a very high potential in Desolate Land, because he's a shimmer. He can be used in any kind of Ritual Miracle and Desolate Land content, even in Falsetto Fantasy as well. But we can't really compare him with the other DPS yet, because let's say my Embla, right? My Embla is R6 D6. Then how am I going to use a R2 D0 Mingshaw to compare with Embla? Or if I want to compare with Slon, my Slon is R6 D6. If I want to compare with my who else? Mateo, mine is R6 D3. Suje R6 D6. Brewster R6 D3 or D4. Like my DPS is very high reso and high divinity. So with my current Mingshaw now, I can't really have a very proper comparison testing, because they don't even have the same equal reso and divinity. So with that said, I can't really put him at meta. I can't really put him as strong or decent as well, like cause it's not the full power yet, right? But if we are just comparing him at R2, which is this video is only R2, and from what I'm looking at the moment, I would say Mingshaw now currently is at decent in PvE content, because in Ritual Miracle he doesn't have a very specific focus content. So let's say what do I mean as a specific focus content? Slon is very good in Chronos. Amir is very good in Wave Clear and Fafnir. Mateo very good in Falsetto Fantasy and Fafnir. Suje very good in Desolate Land and also APAP. Something like that. Everyone have their own specific content that they're very strong in. But Mingshaw as a Shimmer Esper, he is kind of able to fit in any kind of PvE content. But from what the resources we have now, we can't really have fully utilized him. So I'll put him decent first, but if we have a higher reso, higher divinate, and more usage, then maybe I'll put him as strong and meta. But for now, even though I really like Mingshaw, I'll put him at decent. Then the last one here is Nathaniel. So Nathaniel here, I will put him at decent as well, mainly because there's no Falsetto Fantasy content for him, even in Sonica. There's no Desolate Land for now, and there's no Ritual Miracle for him as well. Desolate Land, I know some players are trying him in Desolate Land, but they are using R6 owners, right? So if we don't really compare about that, he don't really shine in the most highest priority content. I think he'll mainly shine in Infinity Tower, Temporal Tower, Calamity Tower. He's definitely gonna shine because he's gonna be very tanky, unkillable, and he can nuke the wave. So I will put him at decent, but not up to strong, because he can't really cover the highest priority content, but he's able to counter the other lower priority content, because he can't die. Alright, so I'll put him at decent, maybe up to strong, but for now I'll put him decent. Alright, then yeah, that's all for the new Esper here within these few patches, because the previous one is 3.4.13, The current patch we have is 3.4.16, so there's three patch different. There's not too much of the new game mode other than Anomaly, which it already ended. So basically that's it for this video. Right, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys yeah, feel free to comment down what you guys think about this tier list, like the new aspect added in or some changes that I made. Feel free to let me know what you guys think about it, or maybe you have a different opinion. You can feel free to let me know. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is Gen MP, Yaki Shiba Tails, Kami, thank you so much for your support. And for the supporter or patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Agni, Code Wilderness, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Sunwalks, Rimu, Choni, Antonio Winterspoon, Marlene Williams, Im Cragran, Riku Fred X Iris, Calamity, Rocco Stangions, thank you so much for your support. Special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chat for the latest 10. Thank you so much for Code Wilderness, Calamity, Agni, Love Fatima, Fatima Little Underwear, Bloods, Riku Fred, Choni. Thank you so much for your support.